Let's see. The moment of truth. Yeah, I think this should work. All right, there we go. So we are officially live. Let me see if I can post this link in chat so people find out where we actually are. Another day, more technical difficulties. So let's wait for some people to filter in, and then we'll get started. If that's cool with you, Nolan.
Yeah, no problem. Go over some lineup building.
Yeah, let me add the channel here. Wait for some people to filter in. Looks like one of our regulars. Nemeth had an assist last night. There we go. Nemeth did have an assist last night.
He's been solid.
Yeah. How did you do while we're waiting for some people to filter in?
No, terrible last night. Was like just didn't have the right combo. I don't know. These 2-game slates are just so random, you know.
I like the 2 gamers, never out. And if you think your winnings look good with 1 period left in the slate, they're probably going down. So yeah, man, that's kind of
you were close there. I saw you up top for a while.
Yeah, I heard. I wasn't really sweating. I was driving home from somewhere, and I came back and just looked at the Slack. Slack was still open on my computer, and it was like, oh, Jake's in 3rd, 6th, and 8th, and I was like, oh man, I must be doing well. And I looked, and I was like, I didn't have any in the top 20. So
it's like one shot, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 1 goal, full line goal from pit 1. All of a sudden, and a line I was on too. That's the thing, and I got sunk. So I think I got back like almost 90%. So I felt great with that. I'll take getting back 90% on almost every night.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we got for today? Line changes?
Yeah, still working on them. Sorry, busy morning, so nothing crazy. Just I think we'll go over it in a bit. But the one thing that we are probably going to need to monitor is just the Thomas Tatar situation in Montreal. I have a feeling Montreal 1's going to be a very popular line tonight. And if he's not on, that's going to be a huge advantage. So I'm kind of hoping that he takes it easy and sits another day and just, relaxes. John Liu from TSN reported that he wasn't at the morning skate, and it doesn't bode well. But then Renaud Lavoie from RDS, who's like French TSN, I think, reported that he's good to go. So I would go with the likelihood that he's good to go. But you never know.
Well, I mean, we're always on the side of hoping for late news in hockey because you got time to adjust. Other sports that can crush you, mainly NBA we're talking about. But yeah, so hopefully there is some late news we can react to, and we get the combos right, and all of our subscribers get the combos right, and make some edge there by just putting in the correct combos. I think is huge on these big slates. So let's see what we got. We got a few people rolling in here. I want to mention a couple things that are free today, and then we've got a pretty exciting giveaway. If you guys are in here, feel free to drop us a like. That is very much appreciated. Got to start asking for likes earlier so you guys don't get stingy at the end of the shows if you don't like some of our takes. So feel free to hit us with the like button. That really does help us out, makes us look good, and helps support us. So thank you guys for that. And Osmo's NFL Showdown rankings are free today. That is pretty big news. So go check those out. You're playing Showdown tonight, right, Nolan?
Maybe. Yeah, I think I might tonight. We'll see. I haven't had the time to look into this slate tonight, but so it's kind of gross, Like I like to play a lot of Showdown when I actually get to watch the game, and like I can't see that I'm myself planning on watching this game tonight too much. So.
Are you serious? I thought you were joking, and you're actually. I thought you play every slate. No?
I usually do. Yeah, I'll play.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be playing. I'll be max entering. I got a bunch of lineups in there, lower stakes stuff, but it's fun. I play it in a league with my buddies too. They all come over and watch every Monday and Thursday, and I think my girlfriend hates me by now. But anyways,
that's what football season's for. You can take walks to the park and go on big weekends away in the spring, but it's football season.
Exactly. Another big piece of free news: NBA DFS main slate ownership projections are free today. Short slate, but helps you get a taste of what's going on in our awesome NBA content. One of the best tools for every sport, ownership projections. These are free today, so take advantage if you are playing NBA. And of course, if you're watching this, you're probably playing NHL DFS. Check out our ownership projections for DraftKings NHL. Those have been very useful to us so far. I think it's been a big reason for me kind of turning it around on a personal level, and I think a lot of our subscribers have been have loved the ownership projections. How could you not? From Alex Baker.
Oh, man, that's so good. It's just such a game changer.
Yeah.
I feel like it really dials me in. Especially when you've got like a really, one of the things that I like to do is like when you've got a really highly owned but highly projected stack, whether it's Colorado 1 or Boston 1, and then those ownership projections can kind of allow you to figure out, especially in 20 maxing. I feel like it's different for you and me. You've 150 max quite often. I usually only 20 max in the like $4, $3 ones. But if you're doing the 20 max, you really got to be picking. You got to pick and choose how you're going to approach the slate. You can't just put Bergeron with Boston 1 with every line combo. So seeing that ownership kind of really allows you to focus on some possibly pairing them up with some low owned third and fourth lines, and it's been successful. Even sometimes second line if you can with some good defensemen. So we've had some success doing that, and I think it's such a helpful tool. If you're not a subscriber, I would suggest that you do.
Yeah, for sure. One more thing, Thursday Night Football giveaway. We've been doing these basically every primetime slate, every showdown slate there is to shovel more money into the fire. We have Thursday Night Football giveaways. You can still win a 2019 Osmo Plus NFL Season Pass, $249 value. Once again, you guys are probably familiar with this by now. You retweet, you like, and you reply to the following tweet with who scores the most fantasy points on Thursday Night Football. A little bit of game theory involved here. We've got a bunch of guesses. If you if you can't find the link in chat that I just posted, feel free to go to my Twitter. I retweeted this earlier today. I don't do a lot of tweets on my own, so it's a lot of retweets and just company man stuff that you'll see on my profile. But you can find the links there to all these giveaways. Participate in that. Why wouldn't you? It's free to participate. It takes like 3 seconds of your time, and you got a chance to win almost $250 in Osmo Plus value. You can get in our Slack chat. You can do all the cool stuff that premium subs get to do. Let's see. All right, we got some people filtering in. Nice GIF there. You like that. Classic. Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports is the sponsor of the NHL DFS Strategy Show. They've got some really nice NFL contests. Low management fees. Always got to point that out. Just over 10% for the $250K baller this week. Nolan and I have been playing a bunch of NFL on Yahoo basically the whole season. And if you guys want to get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points, feel free to check out Emacs primetime article that he writes every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. And there's some information in the third paragraph. So, it's a great deal. $30 in free cash on Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. And if you really want to test your worth in the NFL waters, $3 entry, single entry. I'm sorry. They made it a 5 max this week. Nice. They made it a 5 max. So $15 in total if you want to max enter this. No management fee. Hard to beat that in today's DFS landscape. So get in this tournament. I'll be surely getting into that. $1,200 up top. Pretty cool. What do we got? Oh, lineup study. Almost forgot about that. Do we want to check out lineup study quick? We should probably do it, right?
Yeah, we should probably get into this. How many games are on this slate? 4 or 5?
We'll go quick. I bet we'll be out of here by about 5 Eastern. I think a lot of these games, at least for me, seem pretty straightforward. So I'm excited to talk about the good ones. Couple 5 implied totals. I don't know if you caught that, Nolan, but weirdly.
I'm glad you're dialed in because I'm sure as hell not. So
no, you're dialed in. You got all the line change news and all that good stuff. Let's see what happened last night in the lineup study. NHL version. Cheese is good. Took it down in the NHL streets. So I've seen him dabbling in some NHL 120 lineups. let's see what he did with his top lineup. I saw him chasing down a couple of my entries up here. Tierney, Crosby, Duclair, Kachuk. So he had Ottawa 1, Pitt 1, 3-3.
Why did you put Tierney with those guys, just out of curiosity?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tierney was line 2, so he must have had a 3-2-1 with the Tierney one-off.
I thought I saw one of your lineups with him too.
Yeah, I did. Tierney was grading out as a pretty good one-off. So, I don't know.
Fair.
I had him.
That's smart. That's kind of differentiation, I think, as well, because like you got a rookie center. I think that Brown guy was making his debut or something, wasn't he? So like, who knows if that's going to stick, right? Like that's I feel like on a slate like that, that's some solid analysis right there. Not that he didn't, but just as a one-off,
Yes. So it looks like this guy liked him. I liked him as well. So I had a bunch of Tierney. Paid off pretty good in the lineups that I got him in there.
Do you full stack? Do you go like 3-3 and then just as well, like, once you get all those out of the way, if you're maxing, do you then start dabbling in some 3-2-1s and 2-2-2s and that kind of stuff?
For sure. I really like it on 2-game slates. And even like 3 and 4 game slates, I'll do a lot of different like 3-2-1s and stuff like that. I think it's nice to have some lineups that are fully correlated 3-3. Especially the lower owned guys. But like if you're stacking 2 top lines up together last night, I mean, everyone's going to have that combo. So I think it's better to do like 3-3 if you're stacking up, let's say Pitt 1 and I don't even know, Tampa 2 or something last night, where someone might have been left off of the stack and been like sub 5% ownership on a 3-game or a 2-game slate. So my lineups aren't super interesting to talk about, I don't think, last night. Brick was up there. Brick's been up there lately. Hasn't quite run good at the end of tournaments, but I'm sure he will go on a hot streak here pretty soon. Bunch of single entries up near the top. Second place, third place, and another tied for third, all with single entries. Let's see, did these two have the same lineup? I think they did. Yeah, Shattenkirk, wow. That was an interesting play. Did not really like him last night. But he ended up working out. The Hedman goal getting taken away, I think, hurt me a little bit. So let's see what Brick had. Yeah, Brick was running out Pajot with Duclair and Kachuk, Crosby, Simone, and Gensel. So the full line goal towards the end really, really swung things for Pitt 1. Anders Nilsson or Tristan Yari were kind of the 2 goalies that a lot of people had. Vasilevsky was really expensive, but he ended up working out, getting the win for Tampa, almost 28 DK points. All right, that's enough of lineup study today. We've got 10 games to get into. Want to mention a giveaway that you guys might have seen already if you've been watching the ticker below us, so keep an eye out for that. Pretty cool giveaway. I think you guys will like this if you have not tried out the NHL product. You're going to be able to get to do that, so I'll make sure to mention that once we get through a couple games. But let's fly through these. We've got San Jose and Montreal. I've got the Osmo.com NHL lineup builder. If you guys want to check this out, feel free. Use this as a lineups page, and you get projections and ownership up here if you have the premium version, which I think some of you guys might take advantage of in this promo code that we're going to mention soon. Sharks, Canadiens, 3.1 implied total for the Sharks, 3.3 for Montreal. Aaron Dell going for the Sharks because they've got a back-to-back tomorrow, and then Carey Price for Montreal. Tatar, talk about him.
Yeah, so he didn't skate this morning. It was an optional skate. I've seen conflicting reports out there that he's going to play. I think he's going to play. More of the reports suggest that he is. So, and if I was trusting one of those 2 beats that I mentioned earlier, I would trust Renaud Levoy over John Luke. So that's just my guess. But if he doesn't go, then that's going to be a huge edge for us for sure. I think because you're going to – I don't know who would go. Who do you think would go up in that line? Would it be Drouin maybe? Like who else? Lehkonen was up there maybe last year?
Yeah, I think Lehkonen. It would. Man, it could be Armia. I mean, I don't know. What's that?
Was it Byron last year? I can't remember.
I think he played some with them. Like,
But whatever, we don't have to speculate. We'll find out. If these lines do happen, it'll be Domi between Armia and Drouin, which is another, like, they finally put together some talented offensive players in their second line, despite the fact that Domi-Byron line did have some pretty decent numbers. Kotkaniemi, Lehkonen, and Byron on the third line. On the San Jose side of things, it looks like LeBanc is back up with the second line there. Noah Gregor back down on the third line. That's just according to Daily Faceoff. I haven't seen any reports there, but so I don't know for sure. But.
Yeah, this one's interesting, depending on what Montreal does. So interesting for a number of reasons. If Tatar's out, that opens up possibly an edge for players that are paying attention. This is the first game of the night, so you'll know about a half an hour before this game locks and have plenty of time to react. And feel free to pop into Slack. We'll at the channel if we get any sort of news. That's another benefit of being in Slack chat and being part of our Osmo Plus NHL subscription. You get late news, and you get it really quickly as these beats are tweeting out the lines and scratches and all that stuff. So keep an eye out for.
Curtis Pashelka has tweeted it. So
he is playing.
Yeah. No. LeBanc is on the second line.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I actually like that Sharks second line because I think Danault, Tatar, Gallagher, they're gonna go up against Couture and Meyer. I think for the most part, I don't know if it's gonna be a hard match, but I hope that it is because if that's the case, and I would really love Danault, Tatar, Gallagher, and Hurdle, Kane, and LeBanc as lines here. The Domi line, I think, is going to be pretty poor defensively, most of his lines, depending on who he's playing with.
We're going to see, like San Jose 2 is going to get about half the ownership of San Jose 1, I think.
Probably.
So expensive, right?
Yeah, I think so. Evander Kane not grading out as a great value, but this is a guy with multi-goal upside. Hasn't really gotten it going so far this year, but all these guys slated to play at the same power play as well. So I'm okay spending up for the extra correlation. You could play him with Burns. You could probably be fine playing him with Carlson as well. But I would try to get them in a 4-man with Burns. I think that makes for a really nice contrarian build if you're looking to play some road teams tonight. Got any lines you want to mention specifically? For me, it's Montreal 1 and San Jose 2.
Yeah, I like those. I think San Jose 2 is the contrarian option. I think San Jose 1 is going to be popular because Meyer's priced down. Couture is still priced down. So they're just a cheap line. You don't even need to use them. Well, Couture is actually starting to get up a little bit, I guess, in price. But and then I think Montreal's 1 is going to be super popular tonight. I think they're going to be one of the highest owned lines on the slate. So just be careful with who you're pairing them with if you are using them.
Do you think they will be, though? Like, at first I thought that, too, because of the oh, wait, there's people still in the other NHL chat.
I shared the link over there.
Okay, I just shared it again. Just because of the lack of correlation and maybe Tatar, I'm not sure if he's got a day-to-day tag on any of the sites. But I think just because of the lack of correlation, like people might leave off Danault, they might leave off Tatar because they don't want to check back. So I'm not that worried with Montreal 1 ownership. Like I would be surprised if all their guys were over 10% or something like that. That's just how I'm playing it. But
I'm gonna guess Gallagher's like 17, and that whole line's about like 13, maybe.
Well, Gallagher's price has really caught up. Like he's played incredibly, but like I think he deserves this price. But I don't think that's the general feeling.
You're right. Like I was just going off like crunches, like initial crunches. I got a lot of Montreal 1, but you might be right, man. Like those price points are getting up there. As a line, it's a fairly cheap option, but as like when you factor in Gallagher's price point, that's a fair amount.
Yeah, so I'm hoping people lay off Montreal just a little bit. Really, really love their top line. Love how they've played at 5-on-5. Weber, Burns, both pretty heavy targets for me. Weber probably the better value guy, but I have absolutely no issue paying up for Burns here. So
Carlson as well just seems like way too cheap, getting tons of right now too.
Yeah, he's also a fantastic play. There's a ton of good defenseman plays tonight, so it'll just depend on how it shakes out on my final crunch. But going to get a lot of Burns, that's for sure, and then certainly a good amount of Weber as well.
Yeah.
Anything more?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Arizona and the New York Islanders. This one should be fairly quick. 2.6 implied total for both teams. Kemper, Varlamov is likely for the Islanders. Kemper is confirmed. This game is disgusting. You got anything?
I mean, like it looked earlier on, like I don't hate the Arizona side of this as a contrarian play. Islanders giving up the third most scoring chances in the NHL at all strengths thus far. Where are they for high danger? Just middle of the pack, but they're not as good defensively as I think they they were last year. That being said, the total in this game is super low. Coyotes have the third lowest implied total on the slate, so it's not overly exciting. On the Islanders side of things, Bailey's up with Barzal and Lee. Komarov has been placed on IR. Zizekas is in. Del Cole, some guy named Bardreau is centering the third line. I've never heard of him before. So that's Del Cole and Wallstrom and Bardreau. Little young top prospects line there, I guess. Though maybe Del Cole isn't that anymore. And then Beauvillier with Nelson and Brassard. But yeah, probably a stay away. I think everything's the same on the Arizona side.
So I could see getting to either top two line. Either top line for both teams. Like as filler stacks, they're cheap. So the low total doesn't bother me that much, but I just think this is going to be a grind it down game. Like Arizona is an improved team, but I don't know that this is a great offensive spot for them, even with how the Islanders have played so far this season. I still think the Islanders shouldn't be one of the worst teams defensively in the NHL. I think that's just some early season variance there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go full power play one with Arizona one, I wouldn't have an issue with that, but it's not like I'm pumped about playing $5,400 Ekman Larson when Weber's $5,300. So maybe as an ownership pivot, you get to some Arizona. Same thing, Barzal and Lee. I like when they're together. Bailey plays on the top power play. Who knows if these will stick? How do you not have Anders Lee on the top power play if you're the Islanders? I don't know, but maybe you just go Barzal, Bailey, Lee, and then play Pulock with them, who's going to play 5-on-5, and then I guess is going to play on the power play with Anders Lee. So you still got that hookup on both power plays. Those are the two plays the two lines at least I'm looking for here. Wouldn't mind getting to some of, but overall, kind of a gross game.
Yeah, right there with you.
How much Pulock?
What's his price?
He's $4,800.
That's not bad.
It's all right.
Pretty consistent. I think he's a solid option.
He keeps getting there with like block shots. Last 4 games, 4, 4, 6, and 3. 0 points, but
his ice time just never goes up to like where it should be. I think. I feel like they just roll. Dude. Oh, one other note I should say: Devin Tays last game. I think it was last game that he's up on the power play 1-0 for the Islanders. So there's another cheap option if you need it. He's 38 on PK. Gets about 20 minutes a game. 4 shots last game, so he's pretty solid offensive defenseman. And your boy Chychrun been showing up a little bit of late.
Yeah, Chychrun's been okay. His price is fine. Same thing with Pulock. Pulock has been blocking a lot of shots. He needs the points, though. Like, if he gets points in any of his last 3 games, we're probably talking about him in a little bit of a different light. But he just hasn't been running into assists or goals. But I think those will probably come for him.
Is there a stat out there that has team block shots, like the amount of shots that says, you know what I'm saying? Like, how much a team has had their shots blocked?
Wouldn't that just be the inverse of Fenwick compared to Corsi?
Yeah, but is there like a raw number for that?
Yeah, I think so, right? I don't know. Need someone smarter than me, but yeah, I think.
Look into that because I'm guessing like if there's like a team, there's like a shot blocking defenseman like Chris Russell or something went up against a team that gets a lot of shots blocked, a lot of shots from the point.
Yeah, I think just high Vegas implied totals against is what I would say that you're projecting a lot of shots for that team. So, yeah. But here I don't know that.
I'm thinking it.
Yeah. So, what's up, Llama? I see Llama in chat. That's really all I got here. There's some guys I'm okay getting to some of, but if I wasn't multi-entering, I would not end up on this game. Let's go to the Sabres and the Rangers. We've got a 3 implied total for the Sabres, 3.1 for the Rangers. Carter Hutton / Linus Ullmark. I think it's going to be Ullmark because Buffalo has a road back-to-back tomorrow against Lundqvist. He is confirmed. This one seems pretty fun, man, but we've got some new Rangers lines since the last time we talked.
Yeah, it looks crazy. Kreider off to a slow start, but kind of due for some shooting percentage regression maybe. Zibanejad and Capocacco up on the top line. Panarin down in the second line with Ryan Strome and Buchnevich. Howden centering fast and Lemieux. Looks like you don't get full power play correlation, but at least you get Kreider and Zibanejad. And maybe this second line for the Rangers as well might go overlooked. I think there you get 2 of those guys in the power play as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, so the Ranger side I think is pretty interesting. With the new lines, you get just an affordable Zibanejad, Kreider, Kako combination, and then also affordable second line too, with two guys playing on the top power play on each of those two lines. So I like the top six for the Rangers. Kind of secondary plays for me. I guess the Zibanejad line is more of a priority if I had to choose just one, but mostly this game is just about Buffalo 1. I've been hating on them all season. Eichel cost me the other night because he just keeps going off by himself and not getting his line mates involved. So all I ask of Eichel is if he's going to go off again, just get Olofsson and Reinhart involved. Or Reinhart, I can't remember. Someone told me the pronunciation.
Reinhart.
Is it Reinhart?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Whatever. Get Sam R involved. Yeah, they have to be able to generate at 5-on-5 here. They've done a better job lately. I've looked at their past couple of games. They've been better at 5-on-5. So maybe they just, for whatever reason, they weren't doing well at 5-on-5 before, but they've been sick on the power play. And I just don't see how they don't generate a ton of chances here, 5-on-5 and power play. So we'll see. Maybe Lundqvist will save the day for the Rangers, but they've just been so bad defensively that I'm just kind of eating it here with Buffalo 1. Maybe since they're on the road and they don't have a huge implied total that they're not overly chalk. I think they're going to be one of the chalkiest lines of the night, though. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think they might be the highest owned line on the night. Your power play comments, yeah, absolutely. Especially like the Rangers just don't have a very good penalty kill. They rank bottom 5 in chances allowed, scoring chances and high danger chances allowed on the penalty kill as well this year. So I mean, it's a smash spot for Buffalo, but you're not going to catch anyone by surprise here. So I don't know. I don't have like that same level of confidence that Buffalo won as I do with like another like Colorado won last year or Boston won. When they're just in that like prime spot. Like I don't want to press the lock button on them tonight, but you can't. I don't think you can go wrong rostering them or just targeting the Rangers generally. So
yeah, I just for transparency's sake, I think there's a very good chance that Buffalo 1's my highest owned line by a good margin. So
yeah, but there's also like just like looking at this slate, like there's not a lot of top lines on it, right? Dallas 1's broken up. Calgary 1. I mean, I guess it's Washington, Edmonton. Really, we'll get to later, but Calgary 1's been struggling a little bit, and there's not like just seems like no Nashville 1 on the slate. Carolina 1's been broken up. Like a lot of the top lines that we've normally gone to are a little bit. There are not as many of them this year. I've been finding.
I agree. So this is kind of the closest we have to like a big 3 line. Skinner, if you want to add him in and take out one of Olofsson or Reinhart, I suppose. The defensemen kind of don't really excite me for Buffalo. Dahlin at 5,300. I mean, you're playing him for the power play opportunities here, I think.
Yeah, you're playing for the assists, right?
So he's a good add-on to Buffalo 1. I'm not sure that I want to play a ton of him at 5,300 as a one-off. I'd rather one-off like, again, Colin Miller, guy I've been playing a little bit of at 3,400. Just, a guy with some upside, I think, for that price. And then on the other side, I'll play Trouba whenever. He's 6,100, but he's really all they have defensively. Adam Fox is 2,600, I guess, listed on that second power play. But it's really Trouba and then maybe some Tony D once again. I mean, this guy's just been crushing it lately.
Yeah, he was. If Dubnyk hadn't gone out there, you would have had the nuts, I think, right? Or close. Oh, no, the Horvat hat trick ruined it. But the other night I saw you up top. We had a bunch of combos, but you had Tony D with the 2 goals. So,
God, that was the biggest tilt. Tony D, I had Yossi. Greenway got hurt. Dubnyk got hurt. Oh, God.
I was there too, man. That Horvat's goal sunk me. I think I would have finished second. But
why'd you have to remind me? God.
And my pivot was Hughes, which was good, but it was like, well, it wasn't really a pivot. He was owned, but nowhere near the two assists, nowhere near the 2 goals. Right?
Yep, just your average 20K swing in NHL. That was not fun. But anyways,
right. Speed her on up here.
What's that?
Did we speed her on up here?
Yeah. Let's speed it up in case some people want to watch NBA. I think it's a late lock for NBA.
Oh, nice.
Maybe not. Actually, let me check on this. I should probably know this before we start, but
no,
it is. It is a 7 Eastern. All right, we'll speed it up. We'll get done right around 5 Eastern time. Cool. Carolina, Columbus, 3.1 implied total for the Canes. 2.9 for the Blue Jackets. Mrazek not confirmed against Korpisalo, who is confirmed. What do we got here?
New lines for the Hurricanes, it looks like. Stahl centering Svechnikov and Teravainen. Aho Fogel up on the formerly top line with Niederreiter. Zinglehall and Niswase.
So somewhere around there.
Who's that? Yeah. And then Martinook is out. It looks like Holland Zingle still on that power play, still on the power play one. On the Columbus side of things, they shuffled their middle six a little bit. Josh Anderson's up with Wenberg and Nyquist, and then Texier with Jenner and Bjorkstrand. So that's just a little bit different there. Looks like the power plays are all the same. Werenski and Jones still on them. Nudivara is out, and Scott Harrington draws in, I think. I don't think it's Gavrikov.
Yeah, it's Harrington. All right, so here we've got new lines, like you mentioned, for Carolina. I like them kind of both. I still like Aho and Niederreiter together. They've been pretty quiet this season, but with Fogel there, I don't even think that's a bad addition. So I like getting overweight on Carolina too. That's what I plan to do, and then even the top line, the Stahl line too. Stahl, Svechnikov, and Teravainen. I think that's going to be a really, really good possession line. So I'm just expecting
Fogel
them.
Was like analytic starling last year too, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, and he got moved to the fourth line. Yeah, so I like the top six actually for Carolina. Shocking that I would like the top six for Carolina, but here we are again. They can just change around anything, and I'll still love them no matter what. Other side, Dubois, Foligno, Atkinson. Not a line that I'm getting to very often. Carolina's just tough. I don't expect them to take a bunch of penalties once again this year. And honestly, Foligno up there doesn't really excite me that much either. You guys know how I feel about Wenberg. So the guy I'm probably going to get to the most on Columbus' side is Zach Werenski at 4,400.
Yeah, still too cheap. Getting loads of ice time. Back anytime Werenski's on that power play and he's this cheap, I got no problem rostering him. He usually gets between 22, 25 minutes. Good bet for at least 3 shots on goal. Probably not going to get you the bonus, but yeah, just a solid play, solid price. So maybe we'll see a bit of a rebound. He had a down year last year, but I feel like there's some talent there. So got no problem with rostering him up. Dougie Hamilton as well on the power play one for Carolina. I'm not sure if that's. Let me just look. I don't know if they have him listed that way, but
he is listed that way. He's listed on the top power play.
Just in case you missed that, I think that's probably happened a little bit ago.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better. But who knows what Carolina's going to do with their power plays from game to game is the problem. Like, who's going to go out even first?
Yeah, you don't have – it's 50-50, right? So
good old Rod Brindamore just changing things up after the magical last season in the playoffs. All right, were you ready to move it on from this one?
Moving on.
All right, let's go Kings, Blues, and then we'll talk about the promo we've got going on for the next couple weeks. 2.4 implied total for the Kings, 3.1 for the Blues. Jonathan Quick likely against Jordan Binnington, who is confirmed. Another one where it's kind of one side or bust for me. What do you got here?
I'm guessing you're going Blues here. So Alex Steen on the second line. He was last game with Ryan O'Reilly, David Perron, Sanford, Bozak, Robert Thomas on the third line. And then Mackenzie McEachran on the fourth line with Sundqvist and Barbashev. On the LA side, I didn't really see any changes. LA kind of sneaky good this year, man. What's going on?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't expect them to be good in this matchup, but both their top 2 lines have been playing pretty well. So maybe on a shorter slate, I could make a case for playing some Kopitar, Ifollow, and Brown just for cheap, but they're probably going to get O'Reilly and Perron and Steen, and that's not a line I want much of. Much to do with going against on a 10-game slate. So it's basically just going to be Schenn, Schwartz, Tarasenko. They're pretty expensive with Tarasenko up at 7,600 and Schenn weirdly at 7K. So they're kind of tough to fit in. I like that. I don't think it's a bad power play spot for them. The Kings' goaltending has been horrendous this year. That's kind of been holding them back, even though they played good at 5-on-5. So STL1. And that's really all I got here.
Yeah, right there with you. I like that spot. Schenn is expensive. It's getting priced up to the point where it's getting a little bit pricey, but that's all right. Definitely one of the better lines on the night. I think they do avoid that Kopitar line, so I'm okay with St. Louis one, even though they haven't really hit their stride yet this year. But
Yeah, they're another line that hasn't really gotten going, but I think there's a blow-up performance in the near future. Let's talk about the promo code we've got going on. This is something that was just decided right before the show, actually. Nolan and I were talking with some of the bosses, and we are giving away free weekly trials for NHL only. So we think this will help keep some of you guys around. This is what we got. The promo code is NHL Free Week. You can use this for the NHL Express package or the NHL, the regular weekly package. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a free week, and with that you get ownership from Alex Baker himself for DraftKings. So if you're a DraftKings player, I would highly suggest you take advantage of this promo code. This is for a limited time, by the way. This expires in a few weeks, so you got to take advantage now. Rankings, projections from Alex and myself, and then you'll get all the free stuff, of course, cheat sheets, power plays, all that, as well as Nolan's line changes article, and of course premium Slack, where all the money is made. All the late changes, we bring them to your attention and help you get that extra edge in NHL DFS. So NHL Free Week is the promo code. You can see it coming across the ticker below every few minutes. So take advantage of that, because we really don't do free trials much at all anymore. So this is an NHL only thing for the loyal viewers that want to try out our product. Pretty cool stuff, Nolan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Wild and
all right, we
Predators.
got 2 minutes per game. Let's roll.
Yeah, we can do this. 2.5 implied total for the Wild, 3.4 for the Preds. Stalock, Rene in net. Anything of note here?
Forsberg looks like he's out again for the Predators. I think that's confirmed. Minnesota Wild, Cunnin is up on the second line with Stahl and Zuccarello. Greenway is out. Victor Rask is back on the third line, Hartman and Foligno. And I think that is it for news.
So I think I might limit my pool here. I'm getting some Minnesota 1. I'm getting some Minnesota 2. They've kind of played okay at 5-on-5 in limited samples, but I'm not really ready to deploy a bunch of these lines, at least in Nashville. I think it's just a really tough spot, even without Forsberg. Tough. They're just tough defensively at home. They have been for years with this, with all these guys on their team. So not necessarily crazy about Nashville either. I've got some of both of the top two lines with my lean towards the top line, just wherever Arvidsson going, that's usually where I'm at as well, unless it's Duchesne, Granlund, and someone other than Kyle Turris. So I'll be getting to some Nashville 1. And Yossi right up there with Burns. He's been kind of Brent Burnsy so far this year. He's been awesome. So I am playing a ton of Yossi once again tonight.
Yeah, that's fair enough. $6,800 getting priced up, but I think he's a fine play, one of the top options on the slate. So right there with you. Not getting much of this game either. I'm sure Minnesota 1 will be popular just because the price point's down a little bit. But I don't know. I'm just trying to steer clear from playing these non-correlated lines in bad spots as much as possible. They busted for everyone last game, I think, and I'm sure like the price point is so cheap though that it's hard to get away. So I would definitely have some Minnesota 1 in there just for what's the entire line's like $12,000. It's got to be one of the value lines in the slate. So
I think once again I prefer Minnesota 2 if I'm going to one of these lines. Koivu,
you probably get about 1/3 the ownership.
Yeah. So I actually like Cunnin at 3,400 in the context of a stack. The Wild kind of balance out their power plays anyway. So if you wanted to go Stahl, Zuccarello, Cunnin with Dumba as a 4-man and just hope for something weird to happen on a big slate, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. But Minnesota 1's going to come up in optimizer, so I'm a little bit wary of just plugging them in with my other lines.
Yeah, fair.
Flyers with Blackhawks, 3.2 implied total for the Flyers, 3.2 as well for the Hawks. Brian Elliott, Robin Lehner in net, couple of backup goalies. Maybe not a backup for long, Lehner's case. Stolen a couple starts from Crawford lately. Anything new here?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's the same lines. Nothing. I don't. Did you see anything? Notice anything?
We've got Giroux, Van Riemsdyk, and Voracek, Lindblom, Couturier, and Travis
Yeah.
Konechny.
Philly won full power play correlation. I'm curious about what their ownership is going to be like tonight because I love Philly one. But talk me off that ledge, Jake.
I can't really talk you off of it. I mean, I love targeting the Blackhawks. I don't think they're going to be good defensively. They're not grading out that well for me. Philly one isn't. I don't know why. Because I always like Giroux. Van Riemsdyk's been a beast.
Yeah.
I will probably end up forcing some of Philly one in. I think once I get done with the show, they'll show up more if I can adjust things a little bit manually. But don't forget about the second line either. Couturier, Lindblom, Konechny. It feels like they never have the puck in their own zone when Couturier is out on the ice. Like, he's just so good defensively, but also good offensively. And with two capable line mates, I know they're kind of expensive, but I'll be getting to some of that second Flyers line too. They're probably going to see some of the Kane line, probably some of the Tays line. Neither one I'm worried about defensively. So I think they can generate against either line, with Philly one being the more obvious play. Hawks are tough because the line that I'm actually getting more of is Tays and DeBrincat with Shaw. I like DeBrincat Tays combo. I don't really love Kane's line mates right now. Did we say it's Doc? Kirby Doc? Yeah. Anyways, he makes it cheap. So does Strome, and they're on the power play together, I suppose. But I'm not really wild about everything here.
What about Chicago 3, our sneaky line that's playing well? They're priced back down a little bit again.
Yeah, so they're priced down. I don't mind going to them. The problem is, like, I guess I'll probably have one or two of them, like, paired with Buffalo and maybe trying to get Burns or, I don't even know, one of these expensive lines in there. But it's not really a priority play on a 10-game slate is the only problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
Defenseman?
Defenseman, yeah. New. That's what I missed, actually. New pairings for Chicago. Let me just pull this up here. So Connor Murphy is out. He usually pops up in optimizers quite a lot, so or maybe not quite a lot, but at a higher rate than he probably than I would ever think to play him on my own. Dehan is up with Duncan Keith. Slater Kukoc draws in. How do you say his name? Kukoc?
I can't even remember. I'm not the guy.
He's with Gustafsson on the third pairing. Oli Mata and Brent Seabrook in the second pairing. So, and then they made a change to the top power play unit as well. It looks like Strome is up on the top unit again, and Nylander is off that unit.
Yeah, for defensemen, I think there's a few capable options here. Provorov, Gostisbehere playing on that top power play against Chicago. And then Gustafsson, he's listed on the third pairing, but his minutes have been okay lately. So I'm still willing to play him at 4,500 at a reduced price tag, even though I don't think Philly's going to be bad defensively this year. So we will see. But this one,
sorry, go ahead.
This is a game I'm struggling with. Like the other games, I feel like I'm straightforward on. I feel like I've got a good feel for them and what I want to do and what should be coming up in my crunches. This one, I'm a little bit confused with. So this one, I'm probably going to dive into a little bit more after the show.
Philly been one of the, if not the best defensive team, I think, in terms of chance suppression this year, and I think that actually might be legit. So I think they might be a really good defensive team. Yeah. So that's a little bit scary from the Blackhawks standpoint. And then you have the X factor of Robin Lehner on the other side, who's just been lights out this year, 945 save percentage. So I can see like why there are drawbacks to this game for sure. It's really just going to come down to ownership for me. The goal totals are fine, but I could see going to a lot of different places here. It's just a matter of I don't know, ownership and probably just not trying to be too overexposed to them.
Agreed. Let's go to Ducks and Stars. 2.5 implied total for the Ducks, 2.8 for the Stars. Gibson, Bishop, no changes there. I don't see a lot of changes with the lines, although do we know if Comtois is up on Anaheim 1?
I think he's supposed to be back on Anaheim 1.
Okay.
I'll just double check that while you're talking about it, though. What else we got here? Nothing for Dallas, all the same crappy lines. Tired of the Stars.
Yeah, so Radulov got moved up for a few shifts with Sagan and Pavelski. That could be the case. What I might do is just play those three together and, just if they get it going on the power play and don't even get put together at 5-on-5, you still get Sagan and Pavelski together. You get the worst player off that line, and you differentiate with a lot of the Dallas 1 stacks. So that's an option. I guess Dallas 2... I just never play this line since they've been put together. Hintz has earned the 5K price tag, and Ben's too cheap. But like maybe it's just Corey Perry being up there. I don't know, dude.
I think this is going to be a pretty defensive. Dallas, great defensive team. Pretty stingy at home. Anaheim. Is Gibson starting? I missed that.
Gibson is starting. Like,
yeah. So, Gooley is back as well for the Ducks, and Comtois is back.
Okay. They played well with Richie last time out, so I was kind of hoping we would see Richie with Getzlaf and Koch.
He hasn't really done anything. I don't know why they keep popping him back up there.
But he's 2,500, so that might even come up a couple times for me. I'll have to decide what to do with that. I'm not that worried about Dallas. They're just underwhelming all over the place. Like, they should be good offensively. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that they should like score top 10 goals like during the season, right? You would think like Seguin, Pavelski, Ben,
defenseman, like 5 top forwards. Like it just doesn't
like a good goalie, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense why they can't. So it's got to be a system thing. I never pretend to know anything about actual hockey. Like I just love watching it and playing DFS, but just seems so weird that these guys can't score goals.
And I think like their coach Jim Montgomery, I think he was known for like being a run and shoot kind of a guy. That's surprising. I could be wrong on it.
Just trying to grind it down. Yeah, 5.5 total. I think it was at 5 actually. It is at 5 with the juice to the over, obviously, because any total at 5 would be that way.
Yeah, this one's a stay away unless there's like some really really weird low ownership. I'm just staying away from this one.
Fair enough. Let's go to Florida, Calgary, 2.9 implied total for the for the Panthers, 3.1 for the Flames. Bobrovsky, Rittich in net, and Trocheck questionable, or is he out?
He's I think he's out tonight, officially out. Aaron Ekblad is expected to come to return to the lineup. Brian Boyle is going to center that second line, so that's pretty gross right there. What do you think about Calgary 1 here? Because I'm thinking about getting back on the train. I'm guessing that the second line, Felic is back up on that second Calgary line, which usually means that they use that as a checking line in these situations, which means they'll probably go up with Barkov a lot. And that means that'll free up the Flames top line to go up against some of this pretty terrible Florida depth. So Calgary 1 just has let me down more than any other team so far this year, but I'm thinking about getting back on board tonight. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, so I think just from a game theory perspective, I think that's not a bad play. Similar total to Buffalo, we would expect. We don't have ownership just yet, but we would expect the ownership to be heavily in Buffalo's favor. So you're kind of spending up to be contrarian in a good 5-on-5 spot. I agree with you. I think we're probably going to see Backlund go up against Barkov, Huberdeau, and Dadonov. Although Calgary hasn't been doing a lot of that at home, which is weird, but like this seems like the spot where you just try to wipe out Barkov, Huberdeau, Dadonov, and then your second line is centered by Brian Boyle, Malgin centering the third line. I mean,
it's pretty gross.
Yeah, so you would think they would just hammer Backlund against Barkov, Huberdeau, Dadonov, and that's how I'm playing it. So I'm going to try to give a little bit of a boost to Calgary 1 and make them come up because they are a little bit restrictive to get in your lineups compared to like a Buffalo 1. So I hope the ownership is low. I do like the call on Calgary 1, even though they have disappointed us a number of times.
All right, we got one last game here. Let's get to her.
Giordano. Gio is $6,200. Got to mention that. That is ridiculous. He's going to be right up there with Yossi as my top guy tonight.
Yeah, super cheap. Too cheap. $6,200. Close to lock button for me in 20 lineups. So.
All right. Lock button. I like the call. I don't think that's a bad one either. All right, let's go to Caps Oilers, last game of the night. Then we'll get out of here. 3.1 implied total for the Caps, 3 for the Oilers. Holtby and Mikko Koskinen expected to go for their teams. Any differences?
No, I think it's all the same for the Caps. Looking like the same. Oilers depth lines are mixed up, but you don't want to play the Oilers depth lines anyway, so who cares?
Yep, it's going to be a lot of McDavid, Draisaitl, and unfortunately Zach Kassian. Good power play spot for Backstrom, Ovechkin, and Oshie with Karlsson. The problem is, talk about restricted pricing with Calgary 1. $7,200 for a non-Brent Burns defenseman in Karlsson, and then you've got $8,100 for Ovechkin. Okay, that's fine. That's normal. Oshie was just at like 5K like 2 games ago, it feels like, and then Backstrom priced up like 10 or so % from what he's usually at. So it's just really restrictive. I want to make some of these work. It's just too good of a spot for an MME slate. Like if you are MMEing this, I don't know how you don't jam in some Caps one, because Edmonton has just been bad. Like they've just been bailed out by the power play, so they've got a decent record. But the Caps have kind of been in the other direction. I think they've been better than I expected at 5-on-5. So it's probably McDavid, Draisaitl, or bust on the Oilers side, and then going to get in some power play stacks because I think I just have to here. It seems like too good of a spot to not.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, both sides of this game are going to be good. I think they're going to be a little bit contrarian just because they're so expensive. But I mean, maybe not contrarian. Maybe contrarian is the wrong word there. But maybe a little under-owned, a little less owned than Buffalo. But yeah, I like Washington one, like Edmonton one. I think that, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, it seems like clearly two stacked top lines, at least if you take off Kossian for the Oilers. But
Dimitri loves sneaky play. That's what I got.
They priced your boy up. He's 4,600. But still playable. I think.
First in the NHL in high danger chances for among defensemen.
Jeez.
The product of playing with Washington. Got to get some assist out of that somehow.
All right, I think. Well, Kuznetsov, Hagelin, Wilson. That's going to be a filler stack for me. This Eller, Verana, Hathaway line. Eller and Verana, I think, have been really bad defensively at 5-on-5. So hopefully the McDavid line tries to get matched up against the not Backstrom line. But we'll see what happens here. I just feel like where the scoring is coming from on both sides if they do indeed get it done. So it seems pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
Anything else left on this slate?
That's it.
We almost got out right on time, but just want to mention a couple things. NHL Free Week is the promo code for the free NHL trial. You can use that on Express or the regular weekly package. NHL only. Use that. NHL Free Week. We do not do a lot of free trials, so take advantage. You get ownership for DraftKings from Alex, rankings and projections from Alex and myself, Nolan's line change article, which is super helpful when preparing for the slate, and then premium Slack. So get in for a week. Try it out. You might like it. You might stick with us. We always talk about premium Slack, so now's your time. Free trial. Haven't done one of these, I think, for over a year, and it's NHL specific. Shout out to Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports for sponsoring us. Check out their NFL contests and NHL. A lot of our subs have been doing really well in this $12 tournament and the $3. Lower prizes, but weaker competition, so good for your long-term ROI. Check out Osmo's NFL Showdown rankings. Those are free today. If you're playing Showdown, Nolan and I will probably be doing some of that. NBA DFS main slate ownership projections are also free today, so check out those if you're playing NBA. And then one question: what's premium Slack chat? It's a chat with all of our premium subscribers. You get an invitation if you sign up for an Osmo Plus package, and you can chat with us and other subscribers and trade information and talk about players and picks and game theory and all that good stuff. So it's a great place if you want to be part of our little community. That'll do it, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Hopefully we can get the technical difficulties sorted out in the coming days. Good luck tonight, and we will be back tomorrow.